Jerry here again. Thank you for the opportunity to come into your home and show you how I live with IBM in mind. If you find this video series helpful, informative, or just a little entertaining, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe buttons on your YouTube screen. I hope you notice that my name does not include a doctor prefix or any MD suffix. Therefore, I am not your doctor and you are not my patient, and we have no doctor-patient relationship. Agreed? Like my other IB Myositis channel videos, I tell you about some of my wins against my chronic conditions so that you might consider shortcuts with yours. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am your ring announcer, Jerry King. I myself am fighting inclusion body myositis, or IBM, and also ITP, short for idiopathic thrombocytopenia purpura, and I have also been diagnosed with seborrheic dermatitis. The sport of boxing might not be everyone's favorite, but anyone fighting chronic illnesses is already in the fight ring and searching for better ways to manage those nasty punches thrown at us every day. If you feel you are currently on the ropes with your chronic disease, there might be a counterpunch you can throw to lessen some uncomfortable side effects of your condition. Inclusion body myositis, or IBM, a form of muscular dystrophy, has already robbed me of 95% of my arm, hand, and leg strength. Defending against IBM is like taking a strong uppercut punch, or worse, with no defense. Any fighting back I do now is only accomplished through very special adaptive devices or trick punches. Just as IBM has depleted my skeletal muscles, another opponent, or maybe the same opponent, is prematurely destroying the platelets in my bloodstream or preventing the growth of new platelets. That disease also has a three-letter abbreviation, ITP. Everyone knows having a shortage of platelets in their blood is never a good thing, and I really have to avoid those IBM faults. ITP is a strong jab punch at me, a punch that can easily result in a profuse bloody nose or bruise to other parts of my body. In boxing terms, I'm considered a bleeder. Luckily, there's an expensive treatment called end plate that I get weekly and prevents me from losing all my platelets. I have a third immune system-driven disorder called seborrheic dermatitis. A little different than IBM and ITP in that seborrheic dermatitis is a chronic, recurrent, inflammatory skin condition characterized mostly by skin flaking and itching. There is no cause identified for this condition other than suspecting our immune system is playing a major role in having it. This is a real hook punch if you have it. I've heard from other IBM folks about their itching and flaking skin from their dermatitis or psoriasis-like conditions. There are topical creams that try to mask the exterior skin surface problem, but little is known about how to address the problem from its roots deep within us. Let's go back to our respective boxing ring corners and talk about something. There's a lot of talk among IBM, ITP, dermatitis, and psoriasis social media groups about medical marijuana and also CBD products derived from cannabis and industrial hemp. For anyone not realizing so, medical marijuana and CBD are two distinctly different products. Unlike medical marijuana, which is specifically bred for its psychoactive THC content, the element that gets a user high, CBD has little or no TCH, therefore no psychoactive effect. Let's face it, an IBMer prone to falling does not need to have his senses clouded by any psychoactive drugs. Historians have found evidence of hemp oil with its CBD used as medicine dating back as far as 1500 BC in India, China, and the Middle East, and is legal to purchase and use now in all 50 states. Here in the U.S., no thanks can be given to Randolph Hearst and DuPont Petrochemicals, who aggressively lobbied against hemp in the 1930s because it would have cost them hundreds of millions of dollars if hemp was used to make less expensive paper than the pulpwood their paper mills were using at the time. Political lobbyists made sure hemp was shelved until regulations changed in the early part of this century. Short for cannabidiol, CBD is a non-intoxicating, non-psychoactive compound chemical found in the hemp plant. Cannabidiol, or CBD, continues to show great promise in the treatment in a range of ailments, including epilepsy, inflammation, depression, insomnia, anxiety, diabetes, and much more. I know that many folks diagnosed with IBM, ITP, dermatitis, or psoriasis usually experience one or more of these conditions. There are basically three types of CBD to choose from: full spectrum, broad spectrum, and isolate. Full spectrum or whole plant products contain CBD as well as terpenes and other good cannabinoids such as CBG, CBN, and legal trace amounts of THC as major elements from industrial hemp plants. Broad spectrum products contain an array of cannabinoids and terpenes but zero THC. Isolates are typically the CBD product of choice if you are still employed and drug testing is a concern. All THC is removed from isolates. Reputable vendors and manufacturers offer third-party lab reports that can tell you which cannabinoids and terpenes are in their products and at what levels. I never considered using CBD before I read where it was supposed to help curtail the immune system's call for a disruption of skin cells in dermatitis, and I decided to try it. So I started taking CBD about 4 months ago to help relieve the terrible itching and flaking on my legs, back, and head. After about 5 days of taking CBD, I was a happy camper. No itching or flaking meant I could be without the embarrassing mess on my shirt caused by the skin flaking from my face and scalp. But at the end of 3 months, I did something rather stupid that turned into a verifiable learning moment for me. I ran out of CBD and didn't take any for about 7 days. Guess what came next? Back to the beginning phases of the dry skin and flaking and the stress, anxiety, itching, and also insomnia caused by experiencing it again. It didn't take long for me to start my CBD routine again. After a week of again taking the CBD, the itching and scaling had subsided and I was sleeping well again. That's some points on my side of the judging scorecard. That's not all. My experiment scored again. Remember my ITP, that low platelet count? I keep a copy of my weekly blood tests and platelet counts. Before taking any CBD, my platelet counts were erratic and sometimes dangerously low. After taking CBD, my platelets were generally trending upwards until the temporary lapse in taking the CBD when my platelet count took a dive. Immediately after resuming the CBD, my platelets again trended upwards. Coincidence? Maybe or maybe not. My hematologist has reduced the amount of end plate injection accordingly. In case you are wondering, I simply take half the daily recommended dosage or half an eyedropper in my morning coffee and take the second half under my tongue in the evening. Various CBD manufacturers offer various flavors, but I've just been taking the natural flavored type provided by American Shaman, and it has only a slight sour bitter taste, something along the lines of fresh squeezed grapefruit juice. I've heard many IBMers and those with ITP mention insomnia, inflammation, and anxiety, to mention a few, and I found CBD did help me address those issues. Now, if CBD does something to smooth the erratic immune system that cause platelet and skin cell problems, as I've experienced, one might wonder if it would also slow down the immune system's destruction of our IBM attack muscle cells. Any IBMer or IBM caregiver is probably wondering, will CBD slow the progression of inclusion body myositis? Unfortunately, I'm not a good study sample for determining if or how CBD might affect IBM. You see, my functional rating scale score is only 4.5. Sorry, but there's so little muscle left in me to compare whether CBD has any positive effect on slowing skeletal muscle destruction. But I can report I feel better because of improved sleep and having much less anxiety over my low platelets and also much less itching problems associated with my skin problems. Because I'm sleeping better, I tire less the next day. Anytime I can slightly buckle the knees of a chronic disease opponent, that's a big win on my side of the scorecard. Hey viewers, especially you Stage 1 and Stage 2 IBMers, if anyone out there has any experience that suggests if taking CBD has shown to slow down your muscle cell destruction, let's hear from you. I know it's a subjective measurement, but if CBD really does have an effect on calming our immune systems, as it seems to have done in my platelet and skin systems, maybe, just maybe, taking CBD might slow down the IBM progression we are all doomed to experience without it. And to you ITP viewers, are any of you using a product containing CBD, and has CBD increased your platelet count? How about you itching and scaling skin people? Has CBD relieved your dry, itchy spots? Medical professionals are now starting to say that CBD is one of the most powerful, non-intoxicating compounds in the hemp plant, and they are just starting to witness the benefits. A doctor that you have probably heard of, Dr. Sanjay Gupta, and many other physicians now give positive reviews about CBD products. While CBD isn't the ultimate haymaker or knockout punch anyone with a chronic condition wants, it could turn out to be a fringe contender in your battle against your disease's side effects. As my wife and caregiver mentioned the other day, CBD just might be nature's duct tape that holds our immune system in check. I'm hoping she's right. She has recently started taking CBD before going to bed and sleeps a more restful night, an advantage she really appreciates in our hectic world. And now the main event. In the red corner, a hard-punching newcomer boxing with several stiff decisions. Hailing from Hong Kong, introducing CBD Canada. And in the blue corner, with 27 knockouts and over 40 knockdowns, also hailing out of your hometown, introducing the tag team of Chronic Doesn't Give a Damn conditions, including insomnia, anxiety, inflammation, dermatitis, sclerosis, ITP, and IBM. If you like this type of video, make sure to punch the thumbs up and subscribe and notification bell symbols. Thanks for allowing me into your home to share how I live with IBM, ITP, and dermatitis in mind. Again, remember, there is no doctor designation before or after my name, so consult your primary care physician if you have any questions. Find a counterpunch that works for you, my friend.